The Borovian hoard is a Thracian hoard from the 5th–4th centuries BC, consisting of gold vessels decorated with animal protomotames and mythological scenes, with inscriptions in Greek, Tok-Her's. The treasure was accidentally discovered by Todorov in 1974 in the land of the village, today's town, Borovo, Ruzansko, in the Silver Thracian area. When ploughing, the tractors bring the ancient objects to the surface. Archaeological excavations are being carried out around the site, but no settlement remains or burial mounds have been found. This gives full reason to call the discovered objects treasure. The treasure consists of 5 gilded silver objects, 3 rhytons, a rhyton jug and a pouring bowl. Inscriptions related to the Thracian king Kotis I, 383–359 BC, were found on him, and it is assumed that the whole set was given to him by Thracian rulers in the city of Bios, where there was probably a sanctuary. According to one of the most widespread hypotheses, the reason for his burial is connected with a devastating earthquake that destroyed the capital of the Getae, Hellas. It is believed that they placed the precious objects in the ground as a sacrifice to propitiate her. Another hypothesis, expressed by Professor Ivan Morozov, supports the claim that the burial of the treasure has a ritual meaning related to the transfer of power in Thrace. The objects are hidden in order to be found, but not by anyone, but only by the one who possesses the necessary qualities to become king. The Borovo treasure consists of 5 silver vessels, a poured bowl, a jug and 3 zoomorphic rhytons. They make up a ritual service. On 3 of the objects, the jug and the rhytons with the protome of a horse and sphinx, there are inscriptions in Greek, which are an abridged version of the following text. The vessel is the property of Kotis, donated by the city of Bios. Archaeologists and researchers are of the opinion that the treasure was donated by the Thracian king Kotis I to an allied ruler of the Getae tribe. The jug has an egg shape. It was used as a rhyton. This is evidenced by the traces in its upper part, where there are remains of and a small hole drilled at the bottom, from where the liquid flowed. The wedding of the god Dionysus and Ariadne is represented on the jug. The depicted scenes on the body of the jug were interpreted by Professor Ivan Venedikov and Professor Ivan Morozov. According to Professor Venedikov, the upper frieze represents the walking tears of Dionysus addressing the feasting deities, among whom the professor identifies the figures of Orpheus and Eurydice. In the lower frieze the deities themselves are represented, with a central role given to Dionysus and the goddess, probably his mother Semele or his wife Ariadne. They are surrounded by 2 Eros and Selines who are participants in the feast. Another interpretation is made by Professor Ivan Morozov, who suggests that the scenes are related to the mysteries of the Kabirs, interpreting iconographic similarities with some vases from the Theban Kabirion. According to him, the upper frieze also depicts a Dionysian procession with a markedly elevated licentiousness characteristic of the world of natural The lower frieze represents the marriage between the goddess and the ruler, the so-called act of hierogamy. Hierogamy is known to be a climax in the mysteries of the Kabirs. Professor Morozov is of the opinion that the Borovo treasure is a set with a cult purpose and was used in mysterious practices. The silver bowl is of authentic dimensions, gilded on the upper edge. The base of the massive handles is made in the shape of the heads of mythical creatures from the retinue of Dionysus, satyrs. The cup represents what one gets as a result of one's tireless work. This rhyton has a long fluted horn ending in a protome of a horse. Between the horse's legs is a second small opening for pouring the wine, shaped like a lion's head. The mouth of the horn protrudes outwards and is decorated with a row of lesbian cummerbunds. Below it runs a strip with a plastically rendered ivy wreath. Vertical grooves follow, covering the entire horn. It is shaped like the figure of a running horse. The proportions and volumes of the equine figure are well articulated plastically, and the movement of the horse is conveyed with a good knowledge of organic dynamics. The ears are turned with the opening forward, as is typical of the Thracian animal style. Mythological plot. The horse is one of the most common animals in Thracian iconography. The Thracians themselves are called by Sophocles, horse lovers, and in Homer they are among the horse tamers. The bull-shaped rhyton has a long upward flaring fluted horn ending in a bull's protome. Between the bull's legs is a second small opening for pouring out the wine. The mouth of the horn does not protrude outward. A notched stripe runs below it. Horizontal grooves follow, covering the entire horn that enters the protome. It is shaped like the figure of a kneeling bull. The proportions and volumes of the animal figure are well articulated plastically. The ears are turned with the opening forward, as is typical of the Thracian animal style. The head is separated from the body by a strip of stylized curls, a concept adopted from the Persian artistic tradition. The bull symbolizes male strength, great wealth and success. Sphinx protome rhyton, an exquisite item finished with a winged sphinx protome. The figure of the lion woman is depicted extremely precisely. The face is surrounded by hair gathered in a bun. The chest is covered with feathers. Around his neck, the figure wears a necklace of beads and leaf pendants. The Sphinx is a symbol of dignity, royalty, wisdom and power. The Thracians believed that by drinking ritual wine purified through the mouth of the rhyton, they would acquire the qualities that the animals and mythological creatures depicted on them carried.